Hey beautiful soul, welcome back to another video here on my channel. This video is all about self-acceptance. Just when I think I get the handle on this, I learned that I actually don't. And you know, this video, really the intention is to, consciously be making strides and steps towards programming my mindsets and some of the limitations that are around self-acceptance. So before I get into like the goals and some of the other details, I just want to give you a little bit of a background. The past 2 weeks I've been in Oregon spending time with my family and in nature. And a lot of healing and a lot of transmuting occurred, and I just kind of realized that some of my limiting mindsets, which I'll talk about in this video, are all tied to one root: self-acceptance. And so I wanted to kind of consciously make the effort that if this one root of self-acceptance ends up creating so many other limiting mindsets for me, then I want to be more conscious and aware of the mindsets and just everything that is bunched in to this self-awareness thing. So I want to give a little bit of a disclaimer here that there's no time frame that you can put on deprogramming something in your brain, right? Like there is no timeline that comes with that. It is different for everyone. It is different for every situation. But putting conscious and intentional effort into it can make that process go by a lot faster, and that's really my intention with this. So some of the mindsets that come from this self-acceptance route for me include limiting mindsets around money. I have a lot of limiting mindsets of feeling not deserving of money, feeling like I don't have the skill set to, offer all these different products and services that I want to offer. The second mindset really that affects me is wanting to be seen. Ever since my spiritual awakening, I have changed so much. Outward appearance, my interests, my likes, my dislikes, like me, just literally everything has shifted. And I'm still having a hard time really learning how to show up authentically me. Your authentic energy will attract who you're meant to attract, and that's really what I'm working towards. So I have 3 goals, and I want to preface that these are not goals that need to be accomplished. I'm not holding myself to this has to be accomplished, but it does provide a framework. The first goal is to be completely present. And that is probably the most important thing when you're working with unprogramming mindset. I want to be present, and how I do that is having space. And I'll kind of talk about that in the next section. Goal number 2 is to build new mindsets. And again, like I'm not holding myself to this, but it is something that, I want to focus on. And I want to be consciously kind of using that presence to say, okay, how am I feeling in the moment, and build new mindsets if I need to change the dialogue happening in my head, or if I need to change habits that aren't helping with my self-acceptance. Goal number 3 is to be gentle and encouraging. And this is probably the most important goal out of them all, because this is still a healing journey. This is still considered shadow work. I want to be very gentle with myself and not hold myself to any expectations. My new motto is to flow, so. Let's start with the first goal. How I make space is I assess where I feel like I don't have space. And when I say space, that can be mental, energetic, emotional, physical, really just in every way. I cannot be present unless I have space available. We, have started to do is to kind of evaluate where I need space. So I, have already kind of built that habit a little bit. So this will be good exercise. That is how I will be present. Now with goal number 2, to create new mindsets. For me, this is really good with affirmations. And so for me, I struggle with ADHD. Comment if you can relate, right? And my thoughts just go a million miles a minute. And so I don't write very well. I can't journal. I have actually been video or audio journaling, and then I have that to look back on and listen to and kind of assess where I need to assess. So for me, that works really well. So my action for creating new mindsets is to basically every day audio or video journal with affirmations, with, visualization, or kind of with processing, whatever really, again, I'm feeling called to in that moment. I'll just flow. And then goal number 3, be gentle and encouraging. This is more just about being conscious about what I need. Pretty strong self-respect where I respect my own boundaries and I'm present to when I'm depleted. I will do what I need to do, but that is just important to make sure that I'm not letting my Capricorn ways get in the way of saying, let's go though, let's go, you can do it, just push through, right? Like, So this is gonna be a wild ride. So it's gonna be a week of me kind of recording every single day, how I'm feeling, what I'm doing, what's working, just kind of whatever needs to come out that day, and then have a conclusion where we'll just kind of wrap up at the end of the week and see what happened. I'm excited. So I hope you're ready. Let's get into it. All right, so I've known for a few days now that I have like a decision to make, right? And it's just getting clearer and clearer that it's like, this is just kind of the choice that I have to make. And I don't know, I just kind of want to hear from spirit. I want to hear right? I want to be happy. I want to feel as free as possible. And so it's like, I trust that spirit won't put me in a position that makes me want to be like, but I also just kind of want to hear some guidance around this. What do I need to know about this part of the transition? About my career, about finding a job, about abundance, what needs to be understood. Okay, the first one we have is child orphan. Independence based on learning to go it alone. Conquering the fear of surviving. Fear of going alone. I think there's a lot that I don't see because I don't feel like this is very clear. Like I'm like I feel kind of confused still, and I almost think Spirit is saying that's just how it needs to be right now. You don't need any answers besides just follow what what your intuition is telling you. And it's like, what is my intuition telling me? And yeah, I think I'm ready to take that step forward, and this is just such a big change. The wheel of fortune. But yet everything is turning in my favor. And I kind of see that. I see like stepping through this door. I see the outer transformation starting to take place, right? And then I can see the abundance starting to just the different job opportunities, right? I kind of see it now. Deep blue dragon keeps you safe by clearing your pathway. Trust that you're protected. Walk a path of light. Fire dragon burns up the lower energies around you. You are safe and protected. Be determined and inspired. Clear your soul pathway. I think I'm just being pushed not to forget about my true purpose, right? I don't know. I want to be free. I want to enjoy my life. I'm kind of ready now for some bliss. I'm ready to explore just beautiful things about the human experience. Yeah, exactly. I'm ready for peace. That's the intention that I'm setting, is I want to be at peace. I want to be comfortable. I want to be abundant. I'm taking steps. Yeah, just setting the intention of just taking one step forward, right? And that's what I'm going to do. Like, I'm going to show up authentically me in the workforce and attract the right opportunities. So I was just having my, shower thought session, as one does. And, because I am being present, and that's, an intention that I've set, as well as just something I'm being consciously aware of, I've made space as well. I, was just kind of sitting and, I've struggled with body image throughout my whole life. Once I became more intuitive and actually started listening to my intuition, I started changing my relationship with food. So I've actually worked a lot on my self-acceptance when it comes to my body, but it's by no means perfect. And as probably working on anything is just an everyday battle, and that's okay. It's just sometimes when I get in those modes, I kind of just change my thoughts, right? Or I say, no, you're beautiful. But this time I actually kind of looked at myself, right? And I kind of made a more conscious conversation by just kind of saying, this body is going to be forever changing, just like you're going to be forever changing. And so you have to love it at every stage, just like you love yourself at every stage. And it's never going to stay the same. So just love what it is now. It brings you pleasure. It brings you, stability. Like, I'm really healthy, right? So it's like, I had to kind of sit with myself and kind of just talk to that part of myself that was struggling with the, the body image, and had to be like, no, just consciously, again, rewiring those mindsets. And obviously you can see that my self-acceptance bleeds into other areas of my mindsets, of my self-talk, which is always really interesting. So I woke up this morning to, some bad news. To keep it short, I have been a sales trainer / coach for a year, and then I worked at a company for a couple of years, so 7 years. So I've had a 10-year career, and I got laid off last year due to COVID. And it's been a very wild journey, because I'm currently in a certification program right now to be certified as a new type of not new type of psychology, but a psychology that I think will become more and more popular. It's called psychosynthesis. And it's just a type of psychology that incorporates the mind, body, and soul. So, I've kind of been back and forth about figuring out what I want to do. So, I've been looking for jobs, but no luck. So, here in the US, we have unemployment that has been helping if you can't find a job. So I've been on that, but I just got cut off, and I honestly think if I wasn't in the place that I am, as far as the work that I've already done on my self-love and kind of, I guess, my self-acceptance through this avenue, I guess where I have been consciously working on my self-acceptance outside of this intention is kind of keeping my confidence up. As far as I think it's really difficult to lose your job and not have it feel like a personal thing, right? Or to not find a job, to do interviews and not get a job, right? Or to have the government be like, we don't care, good luck. I woke up, saw that email, and I was like, okay. And I just accepted it because I'm in a state of flow and I trust the universe. And that's just kind of what you have to do, is I'm doing my part, right? I'm applying for as many jobs as I can every single day. I trust the universe will bring me a position that is going to bring me abundance, that's going to bring me space to be able to create my business and continue making videos and doing what I love, and be the perfect fit for me. And I sat down and I did my affirmations, and I'll post my favorite affirmation that I came across during my session today. but I put self-love, I put wealth, I put finding a new opportunity. So yeah, it's a really great app. I feel like I just kind of keep going. You know, this is where I'm at with my self-acceptance. So I think talking with Spirit helped to just kind of let me know that I'm on the right path. You know, I'm doing everything I need to do. So I'm dyeing my hair in a couple days. So that's going to be a part of a new part of this self-acceptance journey, because it's going to be a color that I've never done before. It's going to be a color that I'm going to be like, I think at first, but I am so drained and exhausted. And, you know, it's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly where it's coming from, but like I can just feel it in my face. Like I just feel like my eyes are just, you know, feeling so heavy and tired, and I just feel like I'm so sluggish. And, you know, I think there's just a lot of healing that's taking place. And my goal, my number 3 goal, was to just kind of honor myself, right? Yeah, I think this works. So this is called the Gratitude Oracle. I actually got it when I was in Oregon, and it was such a special moment because my mom actually picked it out. And a little bit of background about me, I grew up Mormon. And so, you know, my mom is one of the most, you know, kindest people, but she does, you know, still hold on to the church's values, and that's okay, because she's one of the people who, even though she has a specific faith and we don't have the same, you know, belief, she still is always open and unconditionally loving to everybody. So, you know, I'm very grateful to have her. But I told her I wanted to buy a new card deck, and I kind of was looking at them, and there was kind of a few that caught my eye, but I couldn't really decide. But I was really drawn to the art of this one. The front of the box I thought was really pretty, but I was like, I don't know. And then my mom kind of comes and she was looking, and I'm like, what one do you like? And this is the one she pointed to. She's like, that one looks really beautiful. And so I just went with it. I was like, okay, yeah. It has been a very, you know, hard week. So I think that's part of it too. Other parts of my life, but this is something I want to focus on, because having, you know, a strong foundation of self-acceptance is going to honor me in so many areas of my life. First one that came out is assessment. Is this going to honor my energy, and what kind of protection do I need to put up? Almost like honoring self, right? And kind of honoring like where's my energy, because I am really depleted. So I feel like Spirit is maybe also saying here, like, you need to evaluate what is coming into your life and what is taking up your energy. So I think I need to set more intentional energy protections. I'm not an empath in the sense that I take on people's emotions, but I can definitely sense people's emotions. I put up protection for my energy every single night. Yeah, I think it's assessment of energy, right? So I've done that at night, but I think I need to kind of just do that. And I carry around crystals, but I don't always. And so it's like, I think there just needs to be more of an assessment. I think it's about continuing to make that commitment to myself, right? Spirit just wants to say, like, just remember your commitment on working on your self-acceptance, committed to everything that I've committed to, and just kind of doing what I need to in the moment. So yeah, relationship under the deck, the relationship with myself. Spirit, anything else you want to say about my self-acceptance journey? And then imagination. Yeah, lots of inner child presence here, as you can see. And that's actually something that really does come with my self-acceptance as well. I used to have a limiting mindset around believing that my inner child was a weakness, because most people could always sense my inner child energy. Because I've always been connected. I'm uncomfortable because adults can't have childlike energy. That's immature. And that's kind of always the energy that I got from people. And I hated it for a long time, because I was trying to show up as somebody in the world. And so, you know, I finally worked on that, and I just said, you know, my inner child is a beautiful gift, and it's a tool that my inner child always needs to have the voice answered. And my soul just loves to have fun and be creative and be artistic. So, you know, as part of like accepting what I need, I've also invested in, you know, some new physical hobbies, like artistic hobbies. I can tell my sacral chakra is very ignited. My creativeness is very ignited. I'm so excited to get my hair done. I'm getting it done on Saturday. And to me, it's a big transition, but it just kind of is moving me into this next version. That's where we're at today with self-acceptance. You just have to take it day by day. It's a journey. But today with my self-acceptance, because of what I've been learning so far the past couple of days about how important it is to be protecting my energy, I saw an old friend and, I kind of like stop a little bit because she didn't see me. So my head was like, oh my gosh, do I stop and say hi? What should I do? Friendship just, I think I just kind of felt like it was bringing out some old behaviors of mine that I had already kind of worked on, but that's just what I had built the friendship on, is those old behaviors. Knowing that, I kind of made the conscious decision I had that voice in my head be like, you could, but remember how it makes you feel. And then that was kind of like my self-acceptance of being like, my energy is more important. I don't owe her a hello. I don't owe her anything. And that was hard for me because I've been such a people pleaser my whole life of that's what you're supposed to do. But so that was a big self-acceptance moment for me to just trust that voice and be like, no, this is such a wild journey. Like I said at the beginning, you just never know what you learn. And I was feeling pretty energized, I feel like, at the beginning of the week. And the past couple of days, I've actually been really tired. I have to accept this new person that I am. And it's a journey. It doesn't happen overnight. And it's not like I'm going to dye my hair and everything is going to be like, here I am. But, I'm starting to accept my true self, right? My spiritual self with no boundaries and no expectations and no false beliefs and no reliance on what other people say or accept, just being truly what I am. And that is so much harder than I thought it was going to be. So it's kind of the journey that you're on with me. So it definitely is, again, like the fire that I need to kind of just keep this self-acceptance journey really moving forward. Because you guys probably know how it is when you get like a new outfit or you buy new shoes or a new perfume or cologne or just something new that just kind of gives you that pep in your step. It doesn't even have to be like for physical appearance. It's just kind of that feeling of something new and exciting, And so I know that feeling doesn't last, but right now I could just use that boost of like just kind of inspiration and fire. So yeah, this is a huge part of, this self-acceptance journey of just trying something new and just kind of going with things. Again, the whole point of doing my hair like this was to just kind of go with the idea of something different, to kind of just flow with different options and opportunities. So one other thing I want to show you guys with self-acceptance is I wanted to kind of make I'll show you the little clip. But, I'm applying for jobs and really trying to find a new job, manifesting a good job. And so I kind of made almost like, because when you go fill out applications and they like give you the intro and then they tell you like what the responsibilities are and like what you're gonna get with working with them, and then like the requirements of the position and kind of like minimum qualifications and all that, right? And how they add value, and you get the picture. So I'm wanting to remind myself that this is a collaboration. I add so much value just by giving my energy and time to a company. So they better have all of these things. So I have standards and I have expectations from them as well. It's not just a one-way flow where, I'm giving myself out and people get to decide. Like, they get to decide if it seems like a fit for them, and I get to decide if it sounds like a fit for me. Okay, so I've been editing like all day today. Just starting to edit this video that you're watching. I'm studying something currently called psychosynthesis. One of the things that he teaches is what he calls subpersonality. So I want to explain this. When you maybe go to work, you act like a different person than you would if you were around your friend, or you were around your boyfriend or girlfriend or lover or whatever, right? And so because of that, that is like a sub-personality. It's just how you present yourself to the world based on what you've decided is safe, and so on and so forth. That's a whole other conversation, and we can have a conversation on that later. The nurturer in me really wants to take care of myself because I have such a strong sense of self-love, and I try to work on it very consciously. That nurture sub wants to come out and say, what do you need, honey? Like, take care of yourself. What do you need to relax? This, YouTube channel and the business that I'm building is a slow process, as it should be. It's a creative process. And so, I've been trying to figure out where to put my time and energy. And so lately I've been doing a lot of self-care of just listening to podcasts and playing games. And so that's kind of been my self-care lately. I woke up today and I really wanted to default to that. I kind of woke up being like, well, maybe I should just take it easy all day, right? But then I kind of had that other part of another sub that I have is called what I call my workhorse. This is a sub for me that appeared in the workplace. That's actually like what someone called me. It was a workhorse. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? But the thing is these sub personalities can have dominant traits. Like, for example, my workhorse sub personality will work to the brick of exhaustion till I get sick because I've worked so hard and I've worked myself into the ground. And that was something that I was just willing to accept. But so that sub is present for me as I'm like, but I should really start editing my video because I wanted to film my final thoughts tomorrow. So I should start getting some insights and just get started on that. And so I really kind of thought, I was like, okay, what's a compromise? And that's, again, I'm in a level of awareness. So I kind of have been able to, I kind of sat here and I've been thinking, I was doing the dishes and I was thinking, how can I be like just really present for myself today? And that inner child voice in me and the kind of motherly, nurturing voice in me was like, you should play games because that is like your self-care. You should just play some Parkitect or play some I love Destiny 2 lately, and listen to some podcasts and just have some self-care. You deserve it, And then the other voice was like, but you really need to get this video edited because you're excited about it and it's going to take a lot more effort than your pick-a-card videos. And, because I had the space emotionally and just kind of intellectually and just every way, I just was able to be present and be like, okay, I'm going to make a compromise and all the voices are going to be heard, right? Every single one of those things is going to be fulfilled. I am going to edit until it's time to cook dinner. And then I'm going to cook dinner, enjoy my dinner, and then have the rest of the night to play games. You can make a conscious choice of how can I serve every part of me, because your soul has a voice, right? Your soul is kind of the conductor, but all these different parts of the human psyche want to also have a voice, and that's part of the human experience. So, that's a different part of self-acceptance. Another view that I really wanted to share is that self-acceptance is about accepting every single part of you, even if I've deemed these parts as they're not bad parts, but they can be parts that do hold me back. And so I've just kind of had to learn that they don't have the main voice. My soul does, or I do, right? And so I want to respect all of those parts. I don't want to try to get them to go away. I don't want to ignore them. I don't want to overpower them. The point is to integrate. That's what psychosynthesis is. And eventually when I'm certified, I'll be offering coaching and a lot more information. But until then, I'm just using the knowledge to bring it to you guys and free content and just kind of chat about it, right? And just share ideas. That's what I'm really doing right now. Okay, so here we are on the final day. Do I look any different? Do I feel any different? Well, yes and yes. I want to kind of go through, some of the insights that I kind of gained day by day. So with day one, I really kind of learned to just kind of follow your intuition, right, with the card reading, and just kind of focus on like what you believe in. Day two, I kind of really just learned with my body image that acceptance comes from everywhere within, right? When we're talking about self-acceptance, every single part of you at every single moment is something that you accept. Because day three, when I first got the news, it made me feel, really sad and scared and fear, but then was able to again have the space for awareness to say, no, I choose not to be in this space. And with day four, I think another area of acceptance that came up for me was accepting past wounds. It's just about bringing awareness and comfort almost to why is this appearing. And so I was able to really just have the awareness of accepting what was and really just what currently is now. Day five, you could definitely see there was kind of like an energy change, because it just seems like even though my energy was low these kind of middle days of the week, it didn't really affect kind of the direction of going forward. Wanted Spirit to kind of give me a map and they wouldn't, right? Because Spirit was like, you can do this. And this has been part of that journey, is just day by day, more is kind of unveiling to me about my self-acceptance journey, about what I've already healed, what needs to continue to be healed, and kind of just what comes into my self-acceptance. With day six, there was a new energy with the hair, right? With the hair. And like I said in the video, it can do so much for energy, and it really just did give me that kind of spark of feeling just inspired and feeling just so like ready for a new change, right? I truly feel like now I'm embodying the energy of a new beginning. With day seven, I really talked about how important it is to honor every single part of yourself. It's really about integrating those parts of who you are into your everyday decision-making abilities, right? Without them kind of coming in and being the control. So there's just so much awareness. Felt like I was actually extremely present, even by just setting that intention of being present, right? My brain was consciously looking for ways to pay attention more, to be more aware. I built new mindsets around being aware of what's coming through my thoughts, right? Because a lot of what came through is what I had asked Spirit to give me clarity on. And so what was coming through is what I just needed to bring awareness to. And so awareness really was the biggest thing here that I just kind of got even more perspective on. And I wouldn't have thought I would have come out of this with that big lesson, but I just truly did. So kind of some of my overall thoughts, at the beginning I kind of talked about one of my limiting mindsets is around money and being seen. None of those necessarily showed up. Again, I think it was kind of more about being balanced. This is almost about just harmonizing myself and getting myself in balance with all the pieces that I've already healed from when it comes to my self-acceptance, and awareness to parts that I still need to work on. And it really did turn out different than how I expected, which has just been the state of my experiences lately. I've accepted that it's time to move on, right? That I've kind of almost healed the past versions of myself, the past wounds, the past everything. Nothing is ever as it seems, and you can't hold a vision because the universe will always exceed your expectations. And so, I went in with framework, but no expectation. And so it was really beautiful to come out of this just being like how powerful awareness and presence are in everything that we do. So I think that's a big lesson here. Is there more work to be done? Of course, always. Self-acceptance is always going to be a journey, because I think based on the things that I did learn and the insights that I gained, we're forever changing. To completely be able to transform in a year, in 6 months, to someone completely different. That if someone saw you and talked to you, they would kind of be like, who are you? That is just absolutely beautiful to me. And the reason why we don't do this more often is because of what society has been teaching us. And this is why I'm kind of slowly learning how to unprogram different mindsets and different things that have been taught and nailed and ingrained into me, so that I can get full control back of who I truly am, so that I can reach a level of knowing of self that is so deep that I just am in such perfect alignment and attunement with everything, right? That is such the beautiful part of the human experience. It's not work, okay? It's not like, oh, self-work, you know, it's self-growth. Growth is slow and linear. It's not something that has to be like now and we can't take our time. No, it's something that is not hustle culture. I would definitely love to hear all of your thoughts down below on what you think about self-acceptance, what you thought about, you know, this little journey, and you know, what stood out to you the most, because I guarantee that everybody is gonna resonate and see different things that I don't. And that's what's so beautiful about, you know, being so open about self-growth and talking about our journeys together, because we're really able to share different perspectives and be like, this is what I saw, I didn't even think of that, right? And so thank you so much for being here and for taking the time to watch this. And I really value you spending your energy investing in this channel. I have a lot of great things coming. You know, I am branching out from pick a cards. I love them. I'm still gonna do them, but I do have a lot more content coming and ideas. But again, I am a very patient person, so I'm just flowing with everything, and I'll just kind of communicate as things come out. But yeah, just stay tuned. There's gonna be a lot, and if there's anything that you're interested in seeing, or anything that you would like more guidance on, or anything that you would like more tips or exploration on, just voice it. You know, I'm a very collaborative person. I love collaboration, so I am seeking for what's going to be helpful for you guys in addition to what my intuition is telling me to create. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next one.